Real quick before this video starts, what you're about to see in the intro is what I thought was wrong with my Kubota V2403 Serpentine belt system and what was causing the squealing. But as you get through this video, you are going to learn, as I did, what the real issue was. So, enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, I'm going to be replacing the alternator and the power steering pump, and we are going to be installing this GenRight aluminum pulley. Now, I'm doing this for several reasons. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to be doing is installing this so I can actually tension the serpentine belt on the Kubota V2403. Now, I'm doing each of these for a very specific reason. I think it was in my last video, I said something about that the alternator didn't sound good, and this alternator, when the belt's off and I spun it, does not make a good noise. So that could be part of my squeal I'm hearing. But the other reason why I'm putting on a brand new power steering pump is two reasons. One, I am not convinced I haven't damaged the pump that I have. I ran it really low on fluid when I first got the diesel engine running, so I could have damaged the pump then. Also, because of the hydro boost, I'm a little bit worried it's not putting out enough pressure at idle, because I can tell when I push the brakes really hard, the whole system just kind of struggles a little bit. Now, what I have here is a brand new power steering pump out of a 2001 to 2004 Grand Cherokee V8 gas engine. And the reason I went with that is between 2001 and 2004. And if I have the dates wrong, I'll put the updated dates over here. It had a hydraulic cooling fan. So this has slightly better flow than the original pump and has a slightly higher PSI rating as well. So we're going to modify my current bracket so we can tension the alternator, and we're going to put on a brand new alternator, and we're going to put on a brand new power steering pump and a brand new pulley from GenRight. So let's get to work. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the intake, loosen the idler pulley, pull the belt off, and then I'm going to work on removing the alternator and the power steering pump. Okay, I was just about to do this and make a really bad mistake. Next, I'm going to disconnect the battery so I can unhook the alternator from the battery. I'm trying to get this bolt out here, but it's hitting the pulley on the old power steering pump. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the power steering pump so that I can get that bolt out so I can remove the alternator. Okay, with the power steering pump off and the alternator off, this whole bracket is now being held on with just this bolt. So we're gonna pull this off and then modify it so we can mount this. Try to do this so I'm not in the way of the camera. So we can mount it like this. So we're gonna have a bolt hole here, and this is gonna slot so it can give a little bit of adjustment, and a bolt hole here. And actually, it's probably gonna be more like this. And that way I can pull the alternator out to tension the entire system. So let's get back to work. Okay, this falls into, I thought I knew what I was doing at the beginning of this video, and I was wrong. This idler pulley is completely locked up. And thinking about it now, my serpentine belt has been turning silver and I couldn't figure out why. It's because it's been spinning around an idler that's not actually spinning. So that's where the silver has come from. So I went to the parts store, I got this idler, I got another one, I've got two different length belts. And my thought process is right now, since this was the problem and not the alternator, not the power steering pump, I'm not going to replace them right now. I'm going to hook everything back up. I am going to still put that new bar on it so I can tension everything. But I think I'm going to try wrapping the belt differently. There's a couple of ways I think I could wrap it. I just want to see which way gives me the best tension on the belt. So, back to work. Okay, I have been playing with this whole setup. I kind of like the way this setup goes now, but I just can't quite get it tensioned before the alternator hits the power steering pump. But I put on the smaller of the two pulleys I have. So I think what I'm going to do is take the belt off, take this bracket off, put on the bigger pulley, and try it again. But the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm really liking the way it looks. So yeah, it's always fun making brand new stuff that's never been made before. So yay, back to time lapse. Okay, as with this whole project, it's going slower. So I'm gonna have to cut off that little tab of the thing, and I'm really trying not to pull this bracket off again because I'd have to pull the power steering pump off, and that's kind of a pain in the butt to do because getting all the washers on it is a pain. But yeah, this is turning into quite a project. Well, apparently my GoPro died and I didn't realize it. I was able to get a little pilot hole, but I just don't have enough room to work on everything to drill the hole here and the other hole that I need. So I'm taking all of this off again. Okay, couple of lessons learned. I shouldn't have drilled this hole until I put it back on, but it's not going anywhere and I can fix that later. I have a way of fixing it. And I think this is gonna work out really well. So I'm gonna just button up the back of the alternator because I don't want to cause an electrical fire again like I did a long time ago. And then we're gonna turn this on and see if this works. So back to time lapse. All right, I've got everything back together. I've got the alternator tensioned. I'm really happy with how everything looks. So I'm gonna go open the shop door. I'm gonna move the camera here and we're gonna turn this on and see if I got rid of my horrible squeal, which I'm now thinking was my idler pulley. So be right back. Fire in the hole. . Well, I would call that a resounding success. Might need to tension this again. I wasn't sure I tightened that enough, but I think it's safe to say we got rid of the squeal. I ended up not having to replace the power steering pump. I ended up not having to replace the alternator. And it turned out the problem the entire time was the idler pulley, and I am sure I screwed it up when I was using it to tension the belt and I was pushing down on it and then having to really cinch it tight. I am sure I am the reason why that idler pulley got destroyed. So we have a new Serpentine belt system. I'm a lot happier with it. I can now tension the belt, and this is all a really, really big win in my book. So leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, you know what to do. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you have, as always, thank you. You guys are amazing. And I will see you in the next video very soon. Goodbye.